Wagwan Yalikunanis. I check this. My sleeping pattern has been vandalized because of the government's decision on a lockdown. I'm sleeping at 4 a.m., waking up at 2 p.m. I'm thinking, raw, my life is doing gymnastics. So I go to the Boots Pharmacist, and you lot know the cash in the bank is low. So I finessed 2 sleeping pills and I popped them last night. But when I'm telling you, my skeleton stopped working and my skull stopped breathing. So man had to call the ambulance for them to come and give me the recovery methodologies. And then one of the doctors tried to give me CPR, trying to give me a little kiss. I went, I told him relax. He told me I might die if he doesn't do this. I told him fuck lockdown, I'm trying to go uptown. Anyways, look, let's jump straight into this. A little integration by parts thing, a little light work thing. As normal, man's gonna take difficult and make it simplification. So give me a sec, let me drink a little something. You don't know the pattern. Okay. Okay, a little something to get me started. So, let's look at this thing, a little light work thing. So, integration by parts here, calm. Now, there's a few things we need to understand. So, when you get a question like this, first of all, yeah, what we need to realize is this thing here, LATE, I like to call it latte. You understand? This is going to help you a lot, fam. This is going to make integration by parts a little light work thing. So the reason why this is important, sorry, yeah, is because you need to remember the order. So it's LATE, yeah, calm. Just try to remember that. Put that in your skull, you understand? L stands for logarithm, so anything that begins with ln. A stands for algebra, so anything that's like x, for example, like x squared or, you know, x cubed or like 7x squared or whatever that is, yeah? And then trigonometry is obviously for trig, like sine x, like cos x, tan x, sec x, all of them thing there. And then exponential is e to the x. So for example, e to the 6x, you know, e to the 7x and whatnot, yeah? So just remember what these things represent. Now let's look at the question. So it's telling me to integrate x e to the 5x. Now, what we need to label first is we need to find out which one is u, yeah? And which one of these is v dashed. Now, how do we do that? We do that using LATE, yeah? So let me explain. So for instance, this x, what does it represent? It represents algebra. This e to the 5x, what does it represent? It represents exponential, yeah? Now I'm going to come here and look at this LATE thing, yeah? And I'm going to say to myself, which one comes first? So obviously A comes first, you understand? Because E is second, yeah? So therefore, U is going to be X because it comes first. So I'm going to put U here. U is X. So then therefore, V dashed is equal to E to the 5X because it comes second. You understand what I've done here, yeah? So I've used LATE to find out which one's U and which one's V dashed. My bad, V dashed. And I've done that by looking at this LATE to look at the order, basically, yeah? Now, once you've done this, a very, very light work thing, yeah? So let me just quickly. So therefore, if I want to find U dashed, what's U dashed? So what happens when I differentiate X? It's going to give me 1. Now, in order to find V, what's really, really important is how do you find V? You integrate V dashed. You understand? So basically, so when you have U, you differentiate U to get U dashed. So if you've got V dashed, you have to integrate V dashed to get V. You understand? So basically, when you integrate V dashed, I've done a video on this, but you can go back and look at it if you want to. Basically, it's just going to be e to the 5x and then divide it by the derivative of the power, which is 5. Once you've got this, integration by parts is light work. You understand? So now we need to look at the formula to make this a bit simplification. So the formula of integration by parts, so I'm just going to put by parts. The formula is uv minus the integral of vu dashed dx. Okay, so that's calm. Once you've got this, a little light work thing. So uv, this times this. So I've got x e to the 5x over 5 minus vu dashed. So vu dashed is this thing here times this thing here. So the integral of e to the 5x times 1, which is just e to the 5x over 5 times 1, which is just that. Calm. Now, obviously, what I'm going to do now, that I'm just going to just make this look a bit better. I'm going to put the 5 here. I'm going to put e to the 5x. Remember, yeah, this and this is exactly the same thing. All I've done is I've taken the 5 to the left side. Doesn't make a difference. Minus, what I'm going to do now is this 5 on the bottom. So basically, this is like 1 over 5, basically, innit, yeah? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it on the outside. So always take out your multiples, yeah, to make it look better. So I'm going to put 1 over 5 on the outside, and I'm going to have e to the 5x dx on the inside, like that. And now all I need to do is a little simplification. So minus 1 over 5. If I integrate e to the 5x, we know it's just going to be e to the 5x divided by the derivative of the power, and then plus c. Now obviously you can simplify this, you do 1 over 5 times 1 over 5 is going to be 1 over 25, whatnot. But listen, the main purpose of this video is just to help you understand how we use integration by parts, you understand? Let's look at another question now to, update that knowledge, fam, you get me, and make sure you can understand everything I'm doing. So give me a sec, let me rub all this out. Give me a sec, give me a sec, give me a sec. Oh, let me drink a little something to keep me warmed up. Give me a sec. Brother, just rubbing all this out takes me like 20 minutes, bro. Fucking hell, bro. Hurry up, man. I don't want to have to go nuts on this thing, I have to go nuts. Give me a sec, fam. Okay, cool. I'm done. Relax yourself. So, okay, cool. Okay, let's look at another question now, yeah? Let me just bring up a question. I swear down, I've got one round here somewhere, brother. Give me a sec. Yeah, cool. Let's look at like a trig mixed with this, yeah? So I'm going to put integrate x squared sine of 2x, yeah? So remember, the first thing I need to find out is which one of these is u and which one of these is v dashed. You understand? Now I do that, I say to myself, okay, x squared represents algebra. This represents trig. Which one comes first on this late thing? So it's L, A. Okay, A comes first, therefore u is going to be x squared. Yeah? And then therefore v dashed is going to be sine to the 2x. You get me? Because trig comes second. You get me? So u is going to be the algebra, and then v dashed is going to be the trig thing. Okay, calm. Let me take all this out because I don't want to go on a mad thing. Yeah, let me just rub this all out. Okay, cool. Now that I know that u is going to be algebra, so u is x squared. So then automatically v dashed is going to be sine of 2x, yeah? Okay, cool. Now that I've got this, I can easily find u dashed. So u dashed is basically what happens when you differentiate x squared. It's going to give you 2x, yeah? And then v is what happens when you integrate sine 2x. So what you do is you integrate sine first, which is going to become minus cos. And you write the inside thing. And then you divide it by the derivative of the inside thing. So what's the derivative of 2x is 2, so I'm going to divide it by 2. And that's that calm. Once you get to this stage, a little light work thing. So remember, by parts, yeah? Remember the equation. It's u v minus v u dashed. Calm. So now what I'm going to do, I've got u, I've got v, so I've got this minus here, don't forget that minus as well. So I've got minus, so I'm just going to put minus x squared cos 2x over 2 minus vu dash, so v times u dashed, which is it's the integral, yeah, minus cos 2x over 2 times 2x and then dx. Now, look, man could do a little simplification. So basically, this 2 and this 2 cancel out, and this negative will give a positive. You understand? So basically, I'm going to rewrite this as minus x squared, and then this 2 here, I'm just going to move to the left. Doesn't really make a difference. Remember, I told you that. So I'm going to put that there. And remember, these two minuses make a positive, and then those 2 cancel out, so I'm just going to be left with x cos 2x. Do you understand what I've done there, yeah? Because I'm left with this x and I'm left with this cos 2x, which is giving me x cos 2x, yeah? So let me rub that out and then dx. Okay, so now, the reason why I've given this question is because what's happened now is we have to use integration by parts again. You understand? So sometimes, when you get an integration by parts question, what tends to happen is you might have to use integration by parts twice within one question. And they do that to obviously make the question more long and more difficult. But you lot know us, we're going to make it simplification. You get me? The governments can't damage our skull. We're going to defeat them, fam. We're going to have victory, fam. You understand? So let me just okay, so I'm gonna have to rub all this out because I ain't got enough space to continue this. So let me just rub all of this out. Yeah, give me a sec. So I hope you've written it all down, and if you haven't, go back before I rub it out. Don't go anywhere. Don't worry, we're nearly done, fam. Don't watch that, fam. We're nearly done in it. You understand? So let me just rub out this. Also, this by parts thing I'm gonna rub out. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rewrite this question. So up there, yeah, so we can go step by step. So remember, the question is minus x squared cos 2 over 2 cos 2x, and then positive x cos 2x, yeah, dx. Okay, cool. So now I have to use integration by parts again for these two things here, yeah. Now, how do I do this? So let me just take a look at this, yeah. So remember, we need to find out which one's u, which one's v dashed. So this is algebra. This is trig. Looking at this late, which one comes first? Algebra comes first, so we're lucky again. So u is x, so therefore v dashed is going to be trig because it comes second, yeah? So calm. So let me just back that all out. So therefore, u is going to be equal to x. And then v dashed is going to be equal to cos 2x, yeah? Now, u dashed is going to be 1. And then v, remember, we integrate cos, it gives me sine. Rewrite the inside, and then divide it by the derivative of the inside 2x, which is 2. And that's the answer here. Also, my bad, let me just rub out the bottom bit as well. It's taking too much space. Because this is a weird topic, you get me? It's a lot of writing and everything there. Alright, cool. So, boom. We know the by parts equation is uv minus the integral of vu dashed, yeah? Calm. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to rewrite this minus x squared over 2 thing. Cos 2x. But then I'm going to use integration by parts for that bit there, for this thing here. So, uv, which is u times v. So, I'm going to have x over 2 sine 2x. And then minus vu dashed. So vu dashed is this times this. So minus sine 2x over 2 times 1, which is just sine 2x over 2 dx. Alright, cool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to rewrite all of this again. Yeah, and I'm only doing this to, you know, so you make sure you always simplify your answers. Yeah, don't ever just leave it in some dead format. You understand? So sine 2x. Okay, so basically this half here, I'm going to take out on the outside. I don't like it there, you understand? So I'm going to put minus half. So then I've got the integral of sine 2x, like that, dx, yeah? And then, boom, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you the final answer. So I'm going to rewrite this whole thing, minus x squared cos 2x, plus x over 2 sine 2x, and then minus a half. And then remember, integrating sine is going to become, so integrating sine is going to become minus cos. And then I'm going to write down the 2x again. So I'm going to have 2x, and then I'm going to divide it by the derivative of the 2x, which is 2. And that's the answer. And then remember, plus c, yeah? Calm! Look, I hope this, this is a weird topic. It requires a lot of practice, fam. You understand? So you have to do this more regularly to fully understand what's going on. But I hope this gives you a good foundation of how to apply the integration by parts. You understand? Anyways, look, big love. More topics coming soon. Love.